Welcome to this edition of Taco Tuesdays with Ace. I'm the host with the most tacos, Ace Acosta. And we're back. It's been a while. You know, this COVID quarantine has kind of kept us off air, but today we are back, and I am excited to introduce you guys to my good friend, founder of Rayworks Production, actually created his own show called Locally Sourced EP, which we'll get into right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ray Jackson.
Ace, what's going on? Do I clap for myself? Or?
Oh, you clap. Round of applause, man. Round of applause. Round of applause. How you been, amigo?
Doing good, man. Just staying safe during this pandemic, man. You know what I mean?
All right. Family's good. Everybody's still staying healthy out there?
Yeah, just keeping our own little NBA bubble here at the house and with a couple other family members that help watch the kids. So keeping it safe.
That's the Jackson bubble right there, huh? Got the Jackson bubble.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, as you know, we do on this show, we got to start out by, taking a little bite on a taco. Oh. So Ray has those nice homemade crispy tacos right there. I had to go get mine bought right there. So.
Well, I didn't make these ones. I could have probably taken. I got it at a local place here in the Northeast.
Northeast.
It's called
in the Northeast. Huh?
The Northeast. I mean, we're all about. See, what us in the Northeast don't tell people is that everyone here thinks that, we're full of gang members shooting and violence, but we just tell everyone that so we keep everyone away so we don't have as much traffic as people on the east side.
Perfect. Let's take a bite of the tacos. Start this thing out. Good. I love tacos. Chicken? You got chicken? Chicken tacos.
I got chicken and this is from, it's called, I'm going to choke. It's a place here in Northeast called Casa de Torta. Super good, man.
Casa de Torta. Shout out to Casa de Torta right there for some tacos. We are broadcasting live out of, I am, the brand new downtown spaces. And Ray's coming from the Jackson bubble, ladies and gentlemen. So, Ray, tell us. I know you're an Andress Eagle. Is that correct? Tell us how it was growing up at Andress.
I was one of those kind of kept to myself kind of things. So I had a small group of friends. We never kind of just hung out and did our own thing. It was pretty cool, man. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, I had a good time growing up here in the Northeast.
Playing any sports?
I played baseball. I played baseball during high schools. It was probably good. I always think back like, that what if I ever played football, because I was always a big guy, but never really got into it. Kind of probably should have tried it out.
But you did baseball though, right?
Yeah.
All right. Did you hit dingers? Huh? Did you hit them?
I had a couple. My favorite one was, I have two. There was one at Bel Air High School. I hit one right to left field down the line. And it broke the window in the band room, so that was kind of cool. And then my other one, my other favorite one, which I kind of pulled in Houston Astros. I stole the sign from the catcher.
Oh.
And I hit it at Coronado, hit it dead center. I knew it was coming, so.
But that's on the catcher right there. If you can steal it from the catcher from that point, that's on the catcher. They weren't banging on trash cans or nothing like that back in the day, were they?
Nah, but. If you know it's coming, it's easy to hit it out.
Perfect. So going back into your history, I know you have how many kiddos right now?
I have two.
Two.
I have a 10-year-old and a 3-year-old.
And you've been married for how long?
Oh man,
that's putting you on the spot.
Mm-hmm. It did. This is why it's easy to remember. It's because my middle nephew from my oldest brother. Me and my wife met and started dating when he was born. That was in 2002. And then my youngest nephew of my older brother, we were married the same year he was born in 2006. So it was 13 years this year, I think.
Yeah.
That we've been married.
Wow.
So let's see. 14 years.
Going on 14.
It'll be 14 this year. It's 14 this year. Sorry.
Attaboy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good time. I don't remember the last time relationship other than tacos I've had for that long or longer.
Yeah, no, it's good. We've been together for a while, like I said, since 2002. So I'm super lucky guy, man. I can't. I don't even know why she's with me because she's such a great person and she's made me a better person. So I'm truly grateful and blessed.
Shout out to Miss Jackson right there. Shout out to Miss Jackson. All right, now I know, Ray, for the fans out there, you have a history in the media business. Is that correct? You know, in the news area.
Yeah, actually, I got started out as a volunteer at KDBC at Channel 4. Let's see, the two people that took me on were the Miguel Mendez. He has his own company here too, and he still here in El Paso. Him and then Angel Dominguez, also known as Axel in the media world. They kind of took me on. I showed up one day and um, through a friend of mine, they got in contact with Miguel, and I volunteered there for like about a year or so. And after about a year, they offered me a part-time position editing the weekend shows, and did that on the weekends while I was working a full-time job. I was in the hospital, working at the hospital, and worked there till they offered me a full-time job, and the rest is history, man.
The rest is history. How do you like it in the news business?
I liked it. I mean, it's like so. Let's see, what's the word? I mean, it's such a cool job, honestly. And the one thing people still kind of don't understand here in this area market, they think that if you work at the news, that you get paid a lot of money, and that is a total opposite, especially here in this market. Because like, especially I remember when I left, and they're like, "Oh, don't you get paid a lot of money?" And I'm like, "Nope." I gotta admit though, there was like a lot of cool perks. I got to see a lot of cool stuff. I got to meet a lot of cool people. Um, it's a good ride, man. I mean, started out at Channel 4 for a while. Was there almost like 7 or 8 years when I think it was a company called Pappas.
Mm-hmm.
They sold over to the company that owned Channel 9 at the time, KTSM. So they merged those two, and then I ended up working over there at KTSM for a while. I started working in their production.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of a cool. It kind of rounded me out from being like an editor and then a photog, and then rounded me out to the production side. So I got to learn a lot of cool stuff. I meet a lot of cool people.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Now, what made the switch? You went from the news going into the school districts. Is that correct?
Yeah. Just like it was kind of funny. I was actually working, doing like, I think it was a ribbon cutting or groundbreaking for, it was for like a greenhouse or something for one of the schools. I think it was a Wainwright over there in the Northeast off of Dyer. And one of the PR director at the time, I had known her for a little while, and she kind of mentioned that the position was opening up because the video production specialist was retiring, and she said, "I should try for it." So I was like, "All right, cool, give it a shot," and applied for it and got a cool interview. I got asked back a couple times, and I guess I said something or did something right because they liked me and ended up getting the job.
It's awesome, awesome. Pretty cool to work with school district. Seen quite a bit in that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a total, I guess, 180 from what I was used to. Because I mean, the first few projects that I got from the school district, I had them done the same day, basically.
And they're like, "You're finished already?"
Yeah, they're like, "What are you doing?" So it was kind of a cool
bad, man. You're making us look bad.
Yeah, but it was more of like a, hey, you can. It's not like, oh, you finished so fast. It was like more like, hey, slow it down. You can take your time, edit this way, color correct, things like that. And it was just like a nice change of pace to be able to do something like that and be a little more have a lot more time to be more creative, basically.
Gotcha. I've gotcha. Now, what got you into starting your own company, Rayworks Productions? For those that don't know, Ray does everything from video to weddings to other certain events, and most notably the Comic Cons.
That's fun. Yeah, well, I mean, it just kind of like kind of started from just, I think I did some pictures for some family members and like, hey, you could probably make some money off this on the side. And I was like, light bulb. I had no idea why I didn't think about that before. So kind of just like sparked that idea from a family member and just started doing it. Scored a couple, weddings here and there, shooting photos at first. First it was all photos.
All photos.
Because that's all, of course, all I could afford was just a still camera. It was either one or the other. So I went photography first. So I guess it's kind of like my first love. So did photos first, and then eventually ended up getting into videos with that as well.
Now go explain to people that haven't been to a Comic-Con. First things people go, oh, Comic-Con, that's kind of nerdy, but really show them, because you got to see behind the scenes. What's the Comic-Con life really about?
Well, like, I know a lot of people, that's a lot of people's take too, is that Comic-Cons are kind of nerdy. They're for those weirdos and just collect comic books and things like that. But if you haven't been one, you're missing out. I mean, even the local ones here are super cool. Even if there's someone there that you've known from like a show from the past, or I mean, if there's a chance, like if you collect anything like nostalgia stuff, like old toys from back in your childhood, there's always someone there selling something that you like. There's usually stuff like for the whole family too. I mean, they sell like anywhere from like backpacks and toys. I mean, it's really cool. And then of course the bonus is that you have sometimes the cool celebrities that are there. I mean, most of the time for Comic-Cons, I know now with everything going on, it's probably going to change a whole lot. But back a few years ago, especially last year with Comic-Cons, you take a photo, you can pay for a photo op, and you like right next to the person. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen that Jason Momoa stuff, like where he was at the New Mexico Comic Expo. Mm-hmm. And I mean, a lot of like my sister-in-law, my older brother, and his kids, they got to take a picture with him. And he said, you can experience that celebrity up close and personal. And it's just really cool.
Now, going back to that Jason Momoa one, now I believe, was it you that gave him a certain gift, or somebody else did?
It was somebody else that that had a photo op with him. Mm-hmm. I believe I only thing I know of that is it was a lady. It was a girl who gave him the shirt and asked him to wear it. And I think he knew what it was, and he ended up wearing it the whole rest of the time. The only thing I did was I shot and posted the first set of pictures of him at his booth, at his table, with the shirt on. Gotcha. I know it feels bad. I know it sounds bad, but I mean, I posted it shot with my big camera, and I took a picture with my phone and posted it, and people started stealing it. So I had to hurry back and post it with my watermark, because people kept stealing it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's my picture.
You're like, hey, wait a minute.
But he was the coolest dude, man. I mean, super nice. I mean, even if he was just putting on the face just to be nice, I mean, dude, he was so cool. In at one time, towards the end of the day, after his second photo op, he walked around / rode someone's longboard on the Comic-Con floor.
Really?
Going to different booths. There was a couple of booths he stopped at that had like fan art that the artist made, and he signed them for them.
Oh wow!
Like, he didn't even charge them. He just went up to them and signed them. And he kind of chit-chatted with them. He kind of hung out with the crowd. I mean, he had his little security detail, but I mean, he was still chit-chatting with people that were coming up to him. He was one of the cool. That's probably one of the coolest things I've seen a celebrity do at a Comic-Con.
That is so awesome. Yeah. Other than that, what's been the celebrity that you got to cover or see at a Comic-Con that kind of got you starstruck?
It's a cool story. I'll try to tell it fast so it's not too long. It was the last time it was named the Stan Lee Comic-Con in Los Angeles. And I had online, I'd purchased Stan Lee. It was when Stan Lee released his autobiography. And I went to the booth to pick it up because I had also purchased the signature, like if he autographed it. Mm-hmm. So I went to the booth thinking, I'm gonna pick this up and take it home. And I got to the booth and I gave them the receipt, and they handed me my book, and they're like, oh, he'll be here in a few minutes. And I was like, what? Mm-hmm. So basically, I was purchased to not get the book already pre-signed, but to get it, to buy the book and then get in line for him to sign it.
How long was that line?
Well, I was the second one in line because I went a little bit early.
Second in line. Look at
Yeah,
you.
but here's the cool thing. I was there as press, as media, because I was shooting it. And I talked to, I guess, the supervisor running the booth.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, I explained to him I was there with press. And I said, hey, I can shoot some video of him signing at your booth, give you a little promotion and things like that. And I'll let you guys have some of the video and just let them know so I can get a little closer so they don't freak out. So the manager told Stan Lee's security detail what I was doing. So I was kind of like I got to shoot right in front of him, behind him, to the side. I was super close. So that was probably the coolest thing that I got to see as far as celebrities. And like, I guess you can say, being able to be in his presence and him being so nice and so cool about it. That was awesome.
Mr. Stan Lee.
Yeah, I still have the book. I should have got it out for you. So, but it is really so cool, man. It's probably one of my favorite autograph pieces.
I remember seeing an interview with him about they asked him about the X-Men, like how did he come up with it? And they go like, how did they come up with the powers and everything like that? He's like, well, I've already done radioactive spiders and gamma rays and all this. He's I was gonna say they're born with it. Simple. Yeah. There it is. They're born with it. Nothing to explain. They're born with it. I mean, his stuff is just crazy how evolved it's gotten now.
Yeah.
Because what Captain America was written in the 1920s?
Yeah, back in the day. Like you mean the time set?
The time set. Well, yeah. Well, actually, when he started that stuff too, no. 40s or something.
Well, I think he didn't make it. He didn't really make it big until he was like in his late 30s, mid 40s when he finally got like Spider-Man published and things like that. So it's a wild ride for him.
It's a wild ride. So everybody go Google or YouTube Stan Lee to check that out. See where all the crazy Marvel universe came from.
You can fact check me.
Now let's get into something that you've been passionate about. This brand new show, locally sourced El Paso. I've been honored to come out on it. One of the episodes. What was the idea on wanting to start this brand new show?
Well, I've had this idea for a while, but it was more of it was kind of a take on diners, drive-ins, and dives with Guy Fieri, but I wanted to do it here locally, but not just restaurants. But I had ideas to do other local businesses as well, and kind of like had it on the back burner for a while. And when the pandemic started, and Zoom got a little bit more popular, and everyone kind of knew how to use it a little more and more, I was like, man, I could probably do it this way for a while, just to get it started. So I kind of just reached out to a few people, you being one of them, and a lot of the Los Photogs, especially being on the first show, the first episode. And it kind of just took off. Yeah. And it just kind of took off from there, man. It's been a lot of fun. I've had, Off the Grill food truck on, just a lot of other local places just to try to help promote them and keep them going. Another place I had is an East Side place called Bold Burgers and Tacos.
What was that? What was it called?
Bold Burgers and Tacos.
Bold Burgers and Tacos. See, you got me on that last word right there. I was like,
okay. Yeah, right. and the owner there, he's a super cool dude. He said the interview, he was actually a truck driver. He'd be out all week doing the deliveries and stuff. He said he would come home and they would kind of like open up shop on the weekend, cooking and selling their stuff, and then pack it up, and then he'd be back on the road on Mondays. And then he said just like one day he just decided, you know what, let's do it. So he decided to do it full time, and they've been going strong, I think, for a few years now. And he said like his passion was cooking, and that he loves it.
Bold Burgers and Tacos. Got to go try that out there.
It's good.
Now, why is it so important that staying on that local level? Like what's the driving force on that for you?
Well, you got, everyone complains about it, or not complains, but they mention it, like with a lot of like the bigger places, like all the Walmarts and Lowe's and stuff, especially now in the pandemic, like they've never been closed, never been closed. And you got places like another place like the District Food and Pub that they've been closed down a few times because they were kind of just designated as a bar, and they had to reapply for licenses or get permissions to reopen as a restaurant, and they've been closed down a few times. I mean, it just like sucks for the local person, and for them to get only so much aid from the government. It's just the way my way of trying to help out the local scene, the local businesses here, and it's been really cool. Hopefully I've helped out a little bit or got them a customer or two, but I mean, I like to eat, especially locally too. So just trying to keep everyone going, help everyone out.
Exactly. What's I think the post going around, by shopping local, you help, what is it? You don't help a CEO get a third house or another yacht. You're helping, you're helping a kid get uniforms and, start a softball team or something like that, just keeping that money local, which is always a great thing, trying to invest in the city.
Yeah, you got to try. I mean, you got places like, I don't know if you've ever been to Rubik's. They're that game bar out on Mesa.
I have not, but I've heard of it. I've driven by it, but I haven't actually stopped in there.
Yeah, they were also going through the same thing about not being able to open because, because of their bars, and then their big draw is the arcades, and you can't really have people touching the arcades and playing. So I mean that hurts their business.
Yeah, this pandemic's changed everything.
Yeah, everything. It just really sucks.
Now, what can people see for future episodes, on Locally Sourced El Paso?
Well, we've got I've done a couple. The next couple ones, like I think I have one coming out where I spoke with one of the project directors with the Boys and Girls Club. I used to work with her at the school district as well, but she's done a lot of cool things, and she's been on for about 1.5 years now, and almost 2 years, maybe 3. But I mean, she's had to handle the pandemic as well, because they always had after school programs for the kids. So now they had to rely a lot on online and virtual stuff, and they've done a lot of cool stuff. They'll host live video chats on Zoom, like showing kids how to make a snack for themselves, or they'll have exercise or yoga sessions. So it's been really challenging for them, but it looks like they've done a really good job handling it.
Awesome. And that's going to be on one of your next episodes, correct?
Yeah, that one. And then the other 2 ones we've done, we actually went out of El Paso. I spoke with the owner. Actually, the owner, he owns Zia Comics up in Las Cruces. Mm-hmm. And oddly enough, he's also the owner of El Paso Comic Con. So his story will be coming out too. And then we got back yesterday from Sparky's Barbecue and Espresso out in Hatch, New Mexico.
Ooh, I've heard about that place when I went to the Albuquerque Comic Con. Mm-hmm. A couple of the guys, they're on their way back, driving back. They're like, "Hey, you got to stop by there." I was like, "I got to." They go, "It's a little drive off the route, but it's worth it." So that's definitely on my list.
It's like an hour. It's like an hour, 15 minutes from my house because we're up far northeast. But dude, it's worth the drive. Like, my go-to is the double green chili burger. It's awesome.
Ooh, so it takes that Whataburger one out the park to.
Oh yeah, dude, doesn't even compare. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but
that's a first.
You got the Hatch Chili was like in their backyard, and I think the owner has his own like chili farm as well. And super cool guy, by the way, man. Super cool guy. Mr. Nunn's he's a good guy.
That's so cool. Showcasing, I guess, local and regional stuff, but it's all, we all one big family. We all one big family here. What other than the pandemic, what's been the most challenging thing that you had to overcome with launching this new show?
I guess just like trying to convince people, like, since it's so new, they're kind of like, who are you? Or what do you do? Kind of got to convince them, like, I'm trying to trying to help out local businesses. Because I know sometimes like a lot of people are afraid of the media, and they're like, oh, well, you know, you're gonna get me on that gotcha journalism or something like that, or like usually
punked.
Yeah, no kidding. Like they're so afraid, and it's like usually when I get them on finally, I'll let them know, you know, well, this is about your business. I'm trying to help you out. I'm not gonna make you look bad, because if I make you look bad, it'll make me look bad. So it's just kind of like let them know it's a friendly conversation just to promote their business.
That is so awesome. So awesome. So now where can everybody find your works at? Go ahead and drop your social handles and all that
Awesome.
jazz.
Well, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram under Locally Sourced EP. And I just started the YouTube page, dropping all the episodes on there at the same name, Locally Sourced EP. Just search it up, subscribe, you know, keep up. And if anyone knows a local business in El Paso, we'd be happy to help you out and have you on the show.
Perfect. What's that email that they can reach you as well?
They can reach me at locallysourcedep@gmail.com.
Awesome. Great. As always, it's a pleasure, my friend. I wish you nothing but the best with this show. It's going to be a hit. I mean, who else doesn't want, you know, some good, you know, free publicity? He got it in the line right there, right? No, like Ray said, nobody likes a soggy taco on that, right?
You know, yeah, we started a little earlier because I didn't want the tacos to get soggy.
Like I said, so Ray, I really, really want to thank you for joining me on this brand new episode of Taco Tuesdays with Ace. It's been a while. I think the last one I had was Mr. Steven Montes, who is now a part of the Washington football team.
That's awesome.
Right? And I know you're a Kansas City chief. The Super Bowl world champs right there.
We'll see what happens, man. I just hope the NFL season happens and people I hope they're smart about the pandemic, especially if they go see it in person. So that way we can have a NFL season, and hopefully the MLB season can finish too.
You mean the Slam Diego Padres? Is that what you're talking about?
Dude, those guys are awesome. They beat they're kicking some butt, man.
Yeah, as we're recording this episode, I think they beat the Rangers and the Astros convincingly.
Yeah.
Right. I can't remember, what was it, 4 Grand Slams or something like that every day for 5 days or 6 days. Shout out to the Padres and the Chihuahuas right there. You know, some of the guys we got to see. We didn't get to see Fernando Tatis here play. He went from AA to straight to the bigs, but that boy can play.
Yeah, no kidding, dude. He can.
I think it's El Nino. Shout out to the Chihuahuas. We miss you. You know, next year we'll be back. And like I said, thank you guys for joining us on this edition of Taco Tuesdays with Ace. You can follow on the YouTube channel and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Got to get a Twitter, Ray. Got to get a
Twitter.
So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Ace. That is Mr. Ray Jackson from Ray Works and Locally Sourced EP. And we'll see you soon.